Well, happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to ATI Pro Media. As you can see, I'm working from a remote location, but this is ATI Pro Media. We are powered by advanced trading. Well, I love the way the market's open today. The fact that I didn't have to trade the overnight markets or manage risk or uh, take phone calls on what are the overnight's doing or texting. Of course, that's our job, but it becomes a 24-hour job. And at some point, we only get Saturdays off because we work Sunday through Friday. But that's how we get paid. So no complaining here. Okay, advanced trading, ATA Pro Media live on a Friday from the lake. Mr. Rick, pop up the lake live from Lake Wawasee here in beautiful Indiana. And so blessed to have good family and friends who the only thing better than owning a boat is having a friend who owns a boat. And as you see, we have plenty to choose from there. The economy in Lake Wawasee is hot. Ring the bell. All right. We are having a great time. It's Friday. We have to work. I wasn't going to come to Lake, and they said, come to Lake. We'll get you set up in the back office. The internet's fast. Jojo, take us to LaSalle Street. Let's check out the markets. We have a lot to talk about this morning, and thanks for joining. All right. LaSalle Street it is. Let's look at these markets here as I am working from just my laptop, a little light on technology here. Dees corn up 5.5. Wheat, the player here today. SEP Board of Trade wheat up 16. Looking at other wheats hanging in there. KC wheat up 11. Hard red spring wheat up 12. Looking at other commodities like soybean meal up handsomely, if I'm seeing that right. Big day in soybean meal. Let's check out soybean oil down as that spread continues to correct. No beans up a quarter cent. There was some selling earlier, and that got people talking. Jojo, take us to Wall Street here as we look at the markets. Dow Jones down 50, S&P up 10, NASDAQ up 123. Big move in gold, big move in silver. Gold up 20, silver up 30. Some outside markets moving. Dr. Copper up 12. This is the one that's the head scratcher, of course. The Bitcoin kind of reminds me of the COVID, but the Bitcoin down 4,000 was down 6,000 last night. Of course, the Twitter sphere or X really lights up when Bitcoin moves, but seeing some nice price action here. Real quick on cattle, because we need to talk about that. I'm looking at my phone for quotes. That's okay. I don't mind you looking at me like that. I'm looking through the bifocals. Cattle pretty quiet here. Live cattle up 12 feeders, about unchanged. Hogs with that 90 handle. July hogs trading 90.20. All right, back to the show. What do we have to talk about? Jojo, if you want to shut off your camera and join me, that'd be great. We are live from the lake. This is my brother Joe, producer Rick in today, swinging buttons. And Joe, you said you had some rain by you. What's going on over there?
Yeah, we caught about a half hour torrential downpour. And then as soon as it ended, sun came out, and we're calling for no more rain for the next 3 days.
Well, that'll be interesting. Drought map came out today. So today is Friday for all you home gamers out there who are just as confused as me. Today is Friday, and we'll see. We have that drought map up. Let's pull that up real quick. Thank you. So our folks in Illinois, like Connor, he's been talking about a little drought, but look at the state of Iowa. State of Iowa was in so much trouble. They would like it probably to stop raining and heat up. Very little drought in North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa, Nebraska. Ring the bell. Our contributor, Cale Carlson, not having to use those irrigators as much because state of Nebraska has Mother Nature large and in charge and providing some moisture. But as you move to the eastern belt, Joe, you start to see it light up a little light yellow. Then you get into your oranges. Remember that gentleman who commented from Ohio? I see what he's talking about. When you look at southern Indiana and southern Ohio, and then the whole eastern belt starting to really get into those oranges, that could be a problem down the line. Well, real quick, I got to ask you, how was your 4th of July? Everyone still have their fingers because boom goes the dynamite. Yesterday was 4th of July, and anyone who's ever seen this clip knows this youngster right here. They threw him on set live, and he just casually stumbled his way through. Looked like Tommy Grisafi on RFD TV. Nonetheless, we did have fun, Joe, down in RFD TV studios. That was always fun doing live TV. I subbed in for my friend Chris Swift from Swift Commodities. Of course, Scott the Cow Guy was down there. And just every time I go down there, I learn more and more about media and production and things that go right, things that go wrong. But even the pros get it a little messed up once in a while. What else did we have for news? You want to go through the news, Joe?
Absolutely.
Uh-oh. There's JoJo's phone. There's JoJo's phone showing that he's actually working. All right. U.S. unemployment rate ticked up 4.1%, above forecast 4.0, and the highest since November 21. That would probably lead us into our next headline that it's looking more certain that the Fed might cut rates. 72% chance of a September rate cut. But this is the deal. If you were holding off to buy a pickup truck or a home, and all of a sudden they cut rates a quarter percent, that's not going to matter. I have to tell you, when I was in Nashville, I was at a rooftop pickleball thing. Of course, I met a guy who sells real estate. I met a gal who has Airbnbs. Things are softening up, even in a hot market like Nashville. He said it's a buyer's market, and I said, "Well, give me an example." He said, "Well, there's a little condo down the street. It's for sale for 550, but it's been for sale for 550 for 170 days." He said 2 years ago, someone would have paid 25,000 over listing, and just wanted to buy that right on the spot. So he said it's a buyer's market, which makes me think things are a little too expensive, not only in Nashville, but around America. So you might see real estate soften up a little bit. If these interest rates go down, you may see some people want to buy that new car, buy that new piece of equipment. But let me make it perfectly clear. We are nowhere to where, operating's at 9%, and then it's at 6%. So if your operating's at 9 and we cut a quarter, you're at 8.75. It's such a small amount, it's not really going to do anything. Just like it took 18 months typically when the Fed raises rates to see if that can hold the economy or change things, it also takes time when they cut rate. For those of you hoping the Fed cuts rates real quick, that means something super horrible happened in the economy. So be careful what you wish for there. Joe, do we have any other headlines, my friend?
No, we don't, Ty. Going back to your statement there, you notice that the economy has been slowing so much so that the car industry now is going back to offering, like I just seen advertised today, 2.9 for 72 months. That means they're subsidizing the interest rate because they're borrowing money at more than 2.9% and loaning it out for 2.9 for 72 months.
You think they hide that in the price? So maybe a new
No,
pickup that's 72,000 would be 75, or you think they're truly discounting it now?
they're truly, and they're massive discounts. Like I'm just using as an example. I just seen the advertisement, $8,000 off a new Ford Bronco.
Mm-hmm.
Now that Ford Bronco 2 years ago was selling for 5,000 over sticker.
Yeah, that's right. And you have quite a history in the car business. You did a lot of financing in the auto industry and a little bit of selling back in the day. So the financial part, this is interesting that we're talking about this, and I love having you on this one. I love you because you're my brother, but the financial side of what you did in the auto industry makes a lot of sense to you when you do your job as a commodity broker. Is that correct?
Absolutely. It really does. And when somebody calls us and asks a question and they say, well, how is it protecting me with puts and calls? And, because a lot of the farmers need the education that we're giving them about why we're doing what we do. And financially looking back, I could not protect, it's so nice to say when I sell somebody a car or my salesman would sell somebody a car, there's no protecting the downside in your car. Your car just depreciates and goes down. It's just what it does. You owe more than it's worth and for about halfway through your loan. Well, if it was the same way with corn or beans or wheat, nobody would grow them. Nobody. Mm-hmm. Their crop is worth whatever it is, and our market's told by right in front of us by where the futures are trading. We know always where it's at, and when we protect them to the downside, and the market does what it's doing, they're so thankful. But there is the other end, Tommy, that we always talk about. We have a downside floor put in, and then we get that rally, and they'll ask you, well, how is that working for me? Yeah. This is the true fruition. In the big picture, we always say to somebody, and I've said it many, many times now, if you lost your money in, you spent 10 cents and you lost your 10 cents in a floor, doesn't exponentially you make so much more money in the cash grain that having that protection is like another insurance, like you explain it so well. Right. You've had these speeches so many times that you explain the ins and outs. And I've listened to some of your speeches, and they're unbelievable because you break it down so well, Tommy. And that's why you have such a great following of.
Yeah, we need to do better than that, though. We just don't need to break it down. We need to take it to the practical side of, okay, we taught you this. Now, how do we make it reality? Talking about a put on the automobile industry, traveled in a lot of Teslas down in Nashville, and I asked him how he liked it. And the Tesla driver was leasing, the Uber driver was leasing his Tesla by the day. So there are, and I said, why don't you buy the Tesla? He said, well, the vehicle's, moderately priced, but the insurance on the vehicle for, in your days, you used to do the 3-year, 36,000 mile or 5-year bumper to bumper, 50,000 mile. That bumper to bumper warranty on that Tesla, he said, was $500 a month. And that shocked me. So we got to price check that. We need to do our research on that. But all this new talk of EV vehicles, or of course we at home there in Bloomington have Rivian. It's really cool to see when those headlights come rolling down the street in the Rivian. How do you protect the downside of that braking? That's kind of what we're doing here with grains. Well, that's awesome. Interesting to talk about that and see that interest rates might be coming down. Real quick, before we end the show, any questions or comments? If you have a question or comment, you're out there. Thanks. We see about a couple hundred people watching today. Always fun. Questions or comments, pop into the show. Drop it there. If you're on X, if you're on YouTube, drop us a comment. Otherwise, we'll hop out of here pretty quick. We'll give it a few minutes. Jojo and Rick, take me back down to LaSalle Street, and then we'll talk about premium content, and then we'll end the show. All right, lots of good news here to report as we talk LaSalle Street. Hard open at 8:30. Corn was up as much as 6. Wheat's up 13. Seeing the gold and silver up, of course, and spring wheat. Markets shot up pretty nice here in grains, coming back down a little bit. Little volatility in the stock market when we talk Wall Street. Dow Jones down 120. Of course, we're talking a 39,500 Dow Jones, and then we have Bitcoin. All right, real quick before we end the show, Tommy Grisafi here from Lake Wawasee, Joe at home in Northwest Indiana. We had premium content the other day, and something interesting happened. For all of you who've been wondering, are land prices going to go down? Well, we broke that down with my good friend here, right here, Jim Rothermick, the land talker. This was Wednesday's premium content from Advanced Trading for the premium subscribers. Interesting. I don't want to give away all the secrets, but if you thought land prices are starting to drop, you're right. And it's coming in a different way. You're not seeing the headline of the low land print. And Jim has all types of information and how he breaks that down, very specific to the great state of Iowa. So that was premium content. Of course, this afternoon, we'll have another batch of premium content. We'll end the week with Don Wick. Any questions or comments from the peanut gallery? If not, I'm going to hop, do my job. I will be on Scott the Cow Guy this afternoon at 1:20, filling in for RFD TV. So many people want a day off. I said I'm not afraid to do a little bit more TV remotely. Catch us there. If you have questions, comments, feel free to reach out to the show. But one more time, let's show everyone where I'm at. They put me up in the bedroom here, live from Lake Wawasee here in beautiful Indiana. And the economy is good out here. I promise you that. So from myself here, live at the lake, JoJo from home, producer Rick, swinging the buttons from Bloomington, Illinois. My name is Tommy Grisafi. Thanks for watching ATI Pro Media. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.